We're on the spot here with senior Alix Talkow, and this is a different kind of spot for me to be in, Alix, as the athletic director. But I thought it would be kind of cool for all of us to learn a little bit more about our student athletes. And I thought you would be a tremendous first one for us to start with. And so we're here on the spot, and I'm going to ask you a few questions, and hopefully you'll play this game along with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So I'm going to be asking some questions that I am interested in hearing about. And certainly I think some of our fans and community members would be interested to hear as well. So the first is not a field hockey question. It is certainly about you being a senior here at Lafayette and what you're studying and what you're hoping to accomplish from your career.
Sure, absolutely. When I first started here at Lafayette, now it feels like pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, I entered and had no idea what I wanted to study. But I started taking courses in both the government and law department and the econ department and found that I liked the interconnectivity between kind of global events, what I was seeing in the news, in the real world, but also in the classroom, and that interconnectivity. So that's why I started kind of now almost graduating with a double major in both government and law and economics.
Sounds wonderful. And I'm assuming you are already thinking about or have decided in terms of what you want to do post-graduation?
Yes, I'm actually very excited. This past summer, I interned with UBS in their Global Wealth Management Department, which I was actually first introduced to through the externship program here at Lafayette. And I will be joining them after graduation in a 2-year rotational program where I'll be exposed to 6 different kind of teams within. So not exactly like my field hockey team, but we'll move on to a new kind of team.
Sounds great. And we always talk about how athletics prepares you for the world after you graduate, and certainly joining that new team. I'm certain you will be highly successful as you are with the field hockey team currently. So here's another question for you. What attracted you to Lafayette? So when you were, going through your college decision choice, what was it about this place that landed you here?
Sure. Well, little tidbit, both my dad and my grandpa actually went to that other school across town. So always been a part of the rivalry and a fan of Lafayette. But what absolutely drew me to this campus was the community, the culture, the people, both somewhere where I could be integrated with students, fellow athletes, and professors academically, but also equally athletically. I mean, I've loved kind of just the community, the campus, the culture, everything. I've had a phenomenal experience, and I can't believe it's kind of coming to an end. It's been a lot of the beginning of the end so far this year.
Well, you've got a few months to go, and we don't want to rush it, but you talk about the community and you talk about all the wonderful things that drew you here, and you are certainly one of our leaders on campus. I know there are lots of different activities that you're involved in, and maybe you can share with us some of the things that you're involved in outside of field hockey.
Sure, absolutely. So I've loved being able to dip my hands into both things within athletics, like of course my team, but also kind of bridging that outside of athletics, but still within athletics. So the Student Athlete Advisory Committee has been a big part of my kind of experience these past 4 years, and I've loved being able to help be a voice for the student athletes here. But I've also become involved in the Lafayette Student Alumni Council, which has helped me see where kind of Lafayette can get me and get everyone after beyond kind of these 4 years, as well as a couple other organizations like Athlete Ally and the Athletes of Color Group, which is a newer one on campus.
That is phenomenal. And Alix, as our SAC president, you are doing a wonderful job. I've had an opportunity to sit in on your meetings, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about what is it like to not only be a part of SAC, but also what does it mean to, be the leader of that group for this year?
Absolutely. It's been really cool kind of seeing how the group has grown the past 4 years and the changes we've been able to make. And I love that SAC both hits on the culture aspect of student athlete lifestyle, but also kind of impact and having both influence within the community outside of athletics, within Easton, within kind of the local municipality, but more specifically also being able to help with the culture, the student athlete lifestyle, both solving problems, but also building culture and community.
Absolutely. So, as you look back on your career, obviously you may have some advice that you could have given yourself as a freshman. And I'm sure that there may be future Lafayette Leopards listening to this video, but also certainly some of your fellow teammates and fellow student athletes that are listening. What is some advice that you would have given yourself back in, whatever year that was when you were a freshman here?
Yes, I mean 2018 now feels like a long time ago. I would absolutely say ask questions and don't be afraid to do so, both to your peers but also your professors or coaches. We have such a big support network here at Lafayette, and that everyone wants to lend a helping hand. So don't be afraid to ask a question, speak up, to initiate change, because that's a huge advantage of our small community, is that different individuals can have an impact, and that starts by asking questions.
That is great advice. And my last question for you is, if could describe, what you want your legacy to be, what do you want the thing that you think we should remember you as you finish out your senior year here?
Well, now you're asking the tough questions. I think, impact and setting a foundation both kind of are connected but also different. Like, I hope I can leave a legacy of having an impact on the community, but also set a foundation for continued growth, whether that be through SAC or on the field hockey team or in the alumni council, or just with my students, friends, peers, and fellow administration like you, faculty. So I'd say both a combination of a bit of having had an impact, but set a foundation for others to build and grow.
Well, I can definitely say that you are making an impact, have made a tremendous impact on our community, and certainly happy to have you as our first guest on the spot. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.